Hi, and welcome back to Waxing On. It's Wednesday, and today I'm not going to call it classic rock, but it's a classic album from back in the early 70s, a very popular brother and sister team, and it's the Carpenters. And again, recently gifted to me. It wasn't part of my original collection, but Carpenters, Close to You. They had a run of hits back in the 70s, a lot of material by Bacharach and David. They recorded material by Roger Nichols and Paul Williams. So two great songwriting teams that were supplying a lot of material for the band. Now, Richard keyboards, Karen on drums, vocals. Whoa, there we go. Got a little more sound coming in from the outside. Those studios all tend to leak together. Anyways, let's go back and take a look at this album. This was probably one of their biggest hits, Close to You, written by Paul Williams again and Roger Nichols. And give you some idea who's playing on this album. Now, firstly, all the arrangements and orchestrations were by Richard Carpenter, which surprised me because I didn't realize he was that involved in the albums till I actually was reading this. Vocals by Karen and Richard. Drums, she also held Hal Blaine assisting her on drums, so she was doing drum duty, but also Hal Blaine in there. Bass was Joe Osborne and Danny Woodhams. And woodwinds, Jim Horn, a name we're well familiar with around here. Bob Messenger and Doug Strawn. A&M Records, again, they were still doing a big business, not just Herb Alpert, right? Because it was Herb Alpert, Jerry Moss, developed A&M Records, and Tijuana Brass recorded all their albums on there. But a lot of other people have been on A&M as well. Right off the top of my head, I think of Joe Jackson with what he was doing. And here we have the Carpenters. Just to give you a look at it, I don't know if we ever looked before. See if I can get in there so you can see that A&M logo. There we go. Yes. Herb got the trumpet in there just to let people know. Okay. A lot of AM radio play. And again, a lot of hits. A couple of tunes on here may sound familiar. Obviously, the big hit from this one was We've Only Just Begun. And I can remember as a young trumpet player playing this one at a lot of weddings. Everybody wanted this song back in the 70s. Okay, so Only Just Begun. Love is Surrender. We've got Maybe It's You, written by Richard Carpenter. Reason to Believe, Tim Hardin. Well, I think the last album we talked about that had that on was Rod Stewart. So it was quite different to see them pulling out a tune like this. Quite different from what they had on the rest of the albums. And Help, Lennon and McCartney. So they're mixing it up a bit. It's not just that style, because Bacharach and David had a very particular style of music, as did Paul Williams. I think we talked about some of Paul's albums before, not just Phantom of the Paradise, but some of his other solo albums, and he was a very popular singer and songwriter back in the 70s. Anyways, Reason to Believe, bit of a stretch, but again, nice to see that on here. Again, one of my favorite tunes that Rod covered, Help, and Close to You, that was the other big hit in here, and that was Bacharach and David. So those are the two big songs off the album. I think we're looking at Only Just Begun and Close to You, and almost everybody will be familiar with those two. Here's one written by Mac David, Burt Bacharach, Baby It's You, I'll Never Fall in Love Again, Bacharach and David, Crescent Moon, another tune by Richard Carpenter, Mr. Gruder, Richard Carpenter, I Kept on Loving You, the second Paul Williams Nichols tune, and another song, Richard Carpenter. So Richard actually contributed quite a few tunes on the album as well. It's just a real slice of music from the 70s. Something very simple, take you back. It's nice, easy listening music. It's really captures the essence of what the early 70s were about. And an excellent team, Richard and Karen Carpenter, and the album was Close to You. So check out the streaming networks. You might be lucky enough to pick up an old copy. I was lucky to come into this one, and it certainly brought back some memories. Check it out. Okay, that's it for Wednesday. We'll see you on Friday when we're going to look at, we're going to almost be classic rock on Friday, although it's more of a folk rock kind of thing, and we've already talked about the band before, but I picked up another new album during my last gifting, so we're going to look at that. So then, see you Friday. Till then, everybody take care, stay safe. Thanks for stopping by.